Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Many of you can probably hear the wind blowing in the background of this video, and it's been like this over the last several nights, but to be honest with each and every one of you, I love living in this house. Many people have told me this house has been haunted ever since I first moved in here, but I took myself up the opportunity because it was 5 minutes away from a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could have exploded, so I'm kind of living in fear of my life, but that's what makes these videos so fun. Is because nobody else is crazy enough to move into a house near a soda plantation and a chemical plant simultaneously side by side that could explode at any given moment, living his life in fear of a zombie apocalypse breaking out. Because one should never believe the scientists on YouTube saying that there's never going to be a zombie apocalypse, because the chances of it happening have never been more apparent to me. And that's why I upload all these videos for you guys, because I just want to make you a believer in this kind of stuff more than you ever have been. And I think that my fondest memories of being a fan of Zombies and Descendants came when I saw Zombies for the first time when I was 25. That was many years ago, 7.5 years ago. I watched Zombies for the first time ever, and to be honest with you all, I loved it so much. I loved the story. That's what did it for me, about how a girl could fall in love with a zombie and stay in love with that zombie for the rest of her life and have no regrets. I think many of us get to a point in our lifetime where we wish we could have no regrets for the relationships we were involved in and all the mistakes that we've made, because many of us are far from perfect. I've been very honest with each and every one of you for every video that I've uploaded that I am far from perfect. And I think that people who upload these videos about Descendants of Zombies, I say this because everything about the people who upload these videos seem very perfect. And they have no faults, they've never made any mistakes, and they seem to know everything there is to know about zombies. Because they're journalists and they're critics, they will find something to criticize about zombies. Your favorite stars, your favorite moments, that means you're a fan of Descendants of Zombies. I get that. But the thing about these videos that make these videos very different and separate them from others is, I'm a fan just like each and every one of you. So I appreciate growing up and being a fan of whatever generation of Disney I had the honor of being a part of. I was a fan of Hercules, I was a fan of Aladdin, I was a fan of Gargoyles, Goof Troop, and the House of Mouse, which was a cartoon that many of you are probably too young to remember. But it was a half-hour show that had a lot of short cartoons in them with favorite Disney characters like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck and Goofy, Chip and Dale, Minnie Mouse and Daisy Duck. It was a whole lot of fun watching the afternoon block on Disney Channel, and I remember, getting home from school, not wanting to do my homework before I watched Disney Channel, and then I'd probably spend 6.5 hours watching Disney Channel up until 9 o'clock every night, and having to rush together an assignment in a do-a-tang folder, and pass it in to be graded 24 hours later in school. And all I ever wanted to do was just be a part of whatever Disney was promoting. And that was so fun about being a kid, was that you believed in magic. You believed in happily ever after existing, and so much of a chance of it happening for you. And I think for many years, Disney has not really tried to encourage that with the past franchises that we've seen come and go out of our lives, like Hannah Montana and Wizards of Waverly Place. While the Wizards of Waverly Place TV series focused on music and revolved around magic spells and a very mysterious, kind of concept, I really believe that Disney was forever and always waiting on a franchise to offer us encouragement, and we finally got it from Descendants of Zombies. And I think that's where Descendants of Zombies achieved so much severity, where so many people fell in love with these characters and have never had any regrets and haven't looked back since. The first character that I admired was Dove Cameron, and I used to upload videos about Dove Cameron over 10 years ago, and these videos that I were uploading weren't garnering as much attention as the videos I'm uploading now about Dove Cameron are, because I've focused my attention on this niche because of just how incredibly supportive each and every one of you are. I'll get to that in a moment. But I remember uploading my very first Dove Cameron video over a decade ago, and my Dove Cameron videos were receiving more views than anything else I was talking about, which made it the greatest honor of my life. And I've had no regrets since I've been uploading so many Dove Cameron videos. I know that I was very vocal about how Dove Cameron was being treated. I thought she deserved better in her lifetime. I thought she deserved more respect from people than what she was being given, because, as has been said many times over the years, everybody's a critic. And that's what I've tried to shy away from on every video that I've uploaded, is criticism, because I think there is no nice form of criticism. I think that your favorite stars from past Descendants franchises and this new franchise have been victims of criticism for forever. I say this because Kylie Control is incredibly beautiful, and that's why I've forever and always believed that a lot of this criticism that your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars are receiving has a lot to do with jealousy. Because jealousy can sometimes get the better of a person. They can't stand how much success Dove Cameron has seen, how much success Kylie Control has had, but I really believe that, if we continue to show the love and support for Kylie Control and Dove Cameron, they still have a long way to go. And that's what makes these videos so fun, is that we don't know what quite to expect from people like Kylie and Dove because they are just still trying to figure out their place in the world. I mean, you talk about Freya Sky, for instance. Freya Sky is only 16 years old. When I was 16 years old, I was so excited to own my very first PlayStation 2, and I was playing video games like NHL 2001 and Madden NFL 2001, thanks to the Cursed Mummy and Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex, and Spyro the Dragon. I didn't care about much. All I ever wanted to do was play video games, and now these girls at 16, 17 years old are really becoming superstars overnight. I could only wish at 16 years old that more people knew who I was. It took me a long time to gain recognition on YouTube. It took me over 25 years. But do you think I've had any regrets over the 25 years that I've been uploading videos about Disney and Nickelodeon? No, I haven't. Because along with talking about whatever niches I was talking about, I had the honor of meeting so many incredible fans of the niches that I was providing commentary on, which a lot of people can't do. They have a great difficult time in uploading videos about their favorite niches or what they love and what they want you to know they love so much because they can't commentate. And that's why you see a lot of these reaction videos surfacing on YouTube about a music video or a moment that captivated them from Zombies and Descendants. I've often wondered if the people uploading reaction videos have even watched Descendants and Zombies to begin with. I've seen videos, for that matter, that people have uploaded where they watch Zombies for the very first time with each and every one of you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that if you're going to upload a video about Descendants and Zombies, you should at least watch the movie before you ever review it to grasp the concept of what a Daywalker and a Nightwalker is and what the difference between the two characters are. What the story really means to a person watching Descendants and Zombies so that you can tell them what that story means to each and every one of you. Obviously, the story means acceptance for everybody. It means that one can find true love, and happiness does exist, sometimes in the strangest forms, but happiness really does exist. It may take some people a lot longer to find it than others, but I think we all get to a point in our lifetime where everything just makes perfect sense. And that's what I'm here to help you guys do, make sense of everything Descendants and Zombies, because you had better believe that this is the greatest honor of my life. Because I have never seen such an incredibly supportive niche that has ever come into my life. I was a professional wrestling podcast host for a number of years, and I was never accepted as much as what I was accepted for my thoughts on Disney and Descendants and Zombies. It's just been an incredible journey that I've been on over this last year. 2024 will never be a year, it's come and gone, but 2024 will never ever be a year that I will never ever forget. August 5th, 2024, that date of that year, will never be a date that I will forever and always remember, because it's a date that really allowed me to have a second chance to be heard and be seen by thousands of people. Because thousands of people from the very first video that was ever uploaded on this YouTube channel took a chance on me when they really didn't have to, as a host of a podcast dedicated to Descendants and Zombies. I didn't know what direction this show was going to be taken in. I didn't even know what was going to become of it or how long it would be around. But less than a year later, maybe just a little bit over a year, I have over 3,000 people subscribed to this YouTube channel. And more people every day are leaving comments saying they're inspired by what I say in these videos because I'm a fan of Wicked. I'm a fan of Descendants and Zombies. Because I am. I can't tell you any different because that's how I see it. If you're a fan of something and you love something so much, you should never be afraid to elaborate on what makes you a fan and why you're a fan of whatever franchise you're a fan of. Actually today, I was at Walmart, the local Walmart, and I saw a brand of cereal that was dedicated to Wicked. They had two different flavors based off the witch, and of course Belinda the Good Witch, Ariana Grande's character. And I thought that was so amazing, just how much merchandise had been, put on the shelves at Walmart so early on, and Wicked for Good hasn't even seen its premiere yet. I will be attending it on November 21st. But if I was to tell you that I wasn't excited about the Wicked premiere, I would be lying to you guys. Because last year I was excited about the initial Wicked Part 1, and I'm just as excited about Wicked for Good Part 2 coming out on November 21st. I've got advance tickets, and I'm excited to be heading out to this one. I wouldn't care if I had to take a bus and nobody would go with me, because I would go by myself just to see Ariana Grande's performance because she's a beautiful girl and she has such a bright future in store for her. I think Ariana Grande's star has never shined brighter than it is right now because of all the great reviews she's getting. For sure, Wicked is going to receive a lot of criticism, but it takes an exceptionally good person to come on their YouTube channel and talk good about Wicked and give Ariana Grande praise. It takes an exceptionally good person to believe in Descendants and Zombies as much as what they do and give their favorite stars and the moments that made them fans of Descendants and Zombies praise. And if you are one person who loves Descendants and Zombies, I love you for it, man. And I want you to continue on hoping and believing that Descendants and Zombies will ascend to greatness. Because your favorite stars of Descendants and Zombies have forever and always deserved better in the way of reviews. Do I think that Freya Sky and Meg Donnelly deserve to go home every night in their hotel room after performing on stage less than 24 hours ago, faced with criticism and crying because of how somebody feels about them on YouTube? Because of some stupid YouTube video that may have been uploaded on the same night that they performed on the stage at the Worlds Collide Tour? I most certainly don't, nor do I agree with it. I think that if we're going to upload videos about Descendants and Zombies, we should not only be supportive of the stars, but the fans who have made Descendants and Zombies into successful franchises that will never ever be forgotten. Because in case you haven't already realized it, your favorite Descendants and Zombies stars deserve to go down in history for being some of the greatest of all time. Just last night on this show, I talked about how I wish I could have inducted them with their own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame because they deserve it. Kylie Cantrell deserves her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So too does Meg Donnelly. So too does Freya Sky, because I really do believe that when you talk about a future Taylor Swift, Freya Sky's got to be in that conversation. I think people like Ariana Grande also deserve their own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But when you talk about a new Taylor Swift in a conversation, it's got to be Freya Sky because of just how emotionally overcome she is with every single performance she gave at the Worlds Collide Tour. This is the reason why Freya Sky is going on tour, and tour dates have already been popping up on FreyaSky.com, and people are already purchasing tickets because they want to relive the Worlds Collide Tour and the fun that they had. And if you are one person who wants to relive all the fun and all the memories that you had from the Worlds Collide Tour, because it was a moment in time that I wish I could have stopped and frozen and lived all over again and experienced with each and every one of you, I hope that you do have fun. And I see nothing wrong with that. So why do people choose to criticize it? It's obviously because they see success in Freya Sky. They see opportunity with Freya Sky. And anything that they can choose to criticize, they're going to. But I think that as more YouTube creators could, I really wish more YouTube creators could see the potentiality of shying away from criticism and how that can really benefit somebody. Because when people like Kylie Cantrell are being criticized about everything, from their criteria of their performance, to their political point of view, to their friendships with Malia Baker and Ruby Rose Turner, I think that if you're going to upload a video about someone like Kylie Cantrell, you've got to realize that a fan of Kylie Cantrell could be watching your video. A fan who believes in Kylie Cantrell that much that she would give up her own life to meet Kylie Cantrell could be watching your video. So you've always got to think about that person that is watching your video and what you can do and how you can come off to inspire them, to give them a chance at hoping that they can get into the same industry as Kylie Cantrell, be a part of an onstage production like the Worlds Collide Tour. Because I'm going to tell you guys something. Every dream that you've ever had or have ever wanted to achieve in this lifetime can and will happen for you. I've always believed that, and I've always held that to be true. That's one prediction. That if I could make one prediction for every single person that ever watched one of my videos, it's that everybody has hope, and everybody has a chance at that. It's just about how much you believe in it yourself, and how far you will go to make a dream become a reality for you. You know, many years ago I wanted to be a pro wrestler. And 25 years later, it never happened for me. You know, I used to watch professional wrestling on TV all the time, and I thought it was real. Come to think of it, everything that I watched on TV was real. I know that sounds really crazy, but, you know, a dream starts with a wish that your heart can only make for you. So if you're dreaming that you want to be a singer, you want to be a professional dancer, you want to get into the music industry, you know, I support that. And that's what makes these videos very different from everybody else that uploads videos about Descendants and Zombies or may have attempted. And I say attempted very lightly because it's all many of them have ever done. And if they do upload a Descendants and Zombies video, it's only one probably every 6 months. I think that the more you believe in a dream, the more it can become a reality for you. And I think that Kylie Contrell opening up the Worlds Collide Tour with how a dream can happen for everybody was a beautiful way of doing it. And, you know, at that moment, when I heard Kylie Contrell say that to thousands of people for whatever venue the Worlds Collide Tour was happening in, I think it was a moment that everybody wanted to stop and just wish could have lasted for forever. Because to be honest with each and every one of you, if I could take a bullet for each and every single one of you, and I've taken many bullets for Descendants of Zombie stars and fans of the product for forever, I really do wish that these franchises could last for forever, and I really do wish the Worlds Collide Tour didn't have to end. If I could have had this last for forever, I definitely would have. And that's why I've always wanted to be a writer and producer for Descendants of Zombies, because I would go above and beyond to ensure the legacies of your favorite stars will go down in history for being some of the greatest of all time, and that Descendants of Zombies would last for forever, because it can. Because a fairy tale can have so many different chapters and so many different variations looked at and explored over the years. I mean, one adaptation of Alice in Wonderland or one adaptation of Cinderella really doesn't tell you a whole lot about the story, because there are so many unanswered questions that are left behind when the dust has settled and the smoke is cleared. And I've always believed that there are fans who watch Descendants of Zombies who deserve the answers to the questions they have. Like, did Red and Chloe remain friends for the rest of their lives? Did they truly find happily ever after? Did it come their way? What sort of consequences will be faced with them for time travel, consequences having been altered the fabric of time in the rise of Red? I think that we have forever and always wanted answers to these questions. They've been in popular demand for forever. So as a writer and producer and a director of Descendants of Zombies, one has to sit down in that director's chair every single time they do and think about each and every one of you. While Disney never accepts any creative ideas from fans, they eventually give in to fans because they realize fans are the most supportive and smarter than they're ever given credit for. I have always realized that. And I think about my time being a Disney fan, which was a very different time and generation that I grew up in from yours. I can only wish that I could have had the honor of growing up a fan of Descendants of Zombies, because I know that I would have thought it was cool. But I give you my word that if Disney would ever consider selling me the franchise as Descendants of Zombies, every single time that I sat in front of that director's chair and I sat in front of that spotlight, I would think about each and every one of you and why you wanted to get the most out of this experience, because I think everybody who watches Descendants of Zombies deserves to enjoy the product for what it's worth. The story, the powerful characters, what they mean to your heart. Because everybody has a character that means something to them. Regardless if you saw yourself through the eyes of Mel many years ago, eventually Red and Chloe, perhaps as Ed and Addison and their beautiful love story, or Victor and Nova and their new love story, which has so much left to be explored and talked about. You see, this conversation doesn't have to end. It never has to end. It's all about how much you believe in it. So if you have a prediction about mermaids finding their way to Seabrook and causing some kind of mysterious conflict in the story, or pirates or witches even, they've been discussed, they somehow found their way into the conversation, then it's all about how much you believe in that. And if you are going to continue to hold on to that, even if Zombies 5 doesn't happen until 2028. I think it's ridiculous that people are suggesting as late as up until 2028, because that seems like forever away. So the best I can offer you are videos with predictions and my thoughts on Descendants of Zombies and Zombies 5 happening, because it will. The obvious answer to that question is, why do you think they introduced all these characters? Just for one appearance in a movie? Because Zed and Addison were exiting the franchise and going to sit behind a camera? They're sitting behind a camera because they have so much creative energy and they have so much incentive to offer a new cast. And the reason why you introduce a new cast is to get us ready for a new franchise and a new story. Even if it doesn't happen and come into fruition for another 5 years, at least 5 years will allow for a powerful story that will captivate millions of people, and one that I'm incredibly excited to be a part of. I would go as far to say that I'm the only guy on YouTube that uploads videos about Descendants of Zombies that gives this much hope. Because I have never really seen anybody give Descendants of Zombies as much hope as what I have. Because I think about you guys every single time I upload a video, and what it's like for you being a fan of Descendants of Zombies and having to be faced with all this criticism just simply because you are a fan of the product. I don't think anybody deserves that. I think that you deserve to believe in a dream, even more than you ever have before. I think that you deserve to believe in hope, that Descendants of Zombies is given a chance. And that's all I've ever wanted to do, is give people hope. And really to give this franchise more hope than it ever has been given before, because so many people are shutting down the thoughts of a hope and dream happening for everybody, when that's all Descendants and Zombies has really ever wanted to promote and put across. You know, I just invested over $1,000 into a new computer system so I could upload better videos for you guys. A $500 camera later, $300 later I had reciprocal lights hooked up here in this room and a beautiful set, and that's what I wanted to do for you guys. I wanted to be here because I knew how many fans of Descendants and Zombies existed, and I just wanted to be a part of it. If there was one thing that I could have been a part of this summer because it was the greatest summer of my life, it would have been to have been in the crowd as a fan of the Worlds Collide Tour, just to have experienced it. Because I think the Worlds Collide Tour was the most beautiful concert performance and collaboration that I had ever reviewed in my lifetime. You know, I watched the entire 2-hour production and the Q&A on YouTube, and I loved every single moment that I was a part of it. I can only imagine how beautiful it was for each and every one of you to have experienced this past summer, because it was my honor to review it. And I wish more people who were uploading videos on YouTube would have approached it with the same manner and the same incentive. Because when you upload videos of Descendants and Zombies, what you've got to realize is there is somebody out there that loves Descendants and Zombies so much more than you ever have, and that knows everything there is to know about their favorite star. Because they're a fan of Rhea Sky, they know her favorite color, what she loves to eat, how she has trouble sleeping every night because of some critic feeling the way that they do about her on a YouTube video. So because they know everything there is to know about it, if you say something wrong about Descendants of Zombies, they're going to let you know about it. And all I've ever wanted to do is show you guys respect and approach every single video with respect, and that's why this YouTube channel has become the most revered Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world right now. And I have each and every one of you to thank for that. I will forever and always be here, regardless of what Descendants of Zombies becomes. And you guys will forever and always have me, no matter who comes into this franchise or who sees their exit from it. I was heartbroken last year when Ruby made the announcement she was no longer going to be Bridget in the franchise moving forward, because I believe she had so much to offer, and it had a lot to do with how she was my favorite character, because of how sweet she was. You know, she really inspired me to be a better person, and I like to believe that I'm kinder because of what Ruby taught me. Ruby taught me the value of kindness, and just how genuinely sweet a person can sometimes get away with being. And you don't really have to put off a show to, make people believe or try to convince people that you're a sweet person. You just got to be it. You just got to open up your eyes every day and approach every single day not knowing what to expect. But regardless of what happens to you or what comes your way, whatever conflict or circumstances have befallen you, all you got to do is be sweet to everybody. You got to treat everybody the way you want to be treated. Because the way you treat people is obviously the way inside of your heart, deep within there somewhere. That's how you always want to be treated. So that's the way I've always approached life, knowing there is somebody out there watching this video who can find time in appreciating everything that I've had to say about Descendants of Zombies 600 videos later. 600 videos meant a lot to me, and 600 videos was really a milestone, because many YouTube channels and YouTube creators never get to that point where they can say they've uploaded 600 videos. Probably some gamer who plays PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4 video games all the time with their friends online probably has 600 videos because they're being paid and monetized. But I think that very few channels that talk about things like Disney and Nickelodeon have that many videos, except for probably Disney and Nickelodeon themselves, because they have a vault of archives. I get that. But I have each and every one of you to thank for having made this YouTube channel such a profound success, and I will never ever forget it, regardless of what becomes of me or where I go from here. You guys will forever and always have me as a fan and a supporter of Descendants and Zombies, and I've just wanted you to be a part of it. I've never ever wanted you to hit my subscribe button because of me. I wanted you to hit my subscribe button forever and always because you were a fan of Descendants and Zombies, because there are thousands of fans of Descendants and Zombies. On YouTube, we have 600,000 fans of Descendants and Zombies alone, and that says a lot. So because we have 600,000 fans of Descendants and Zombies on YouTube alone, I've got my work cut out for me. But I'm excited for the future, because we don't know what to expect in Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland. We don't know what's coming in Zombies 5, because anything up to this point could be inside of that vortex. I know that a vortex is usually associated with doom and the end of time, but for some crazy reason, I'm the only guy on YouTube that's voluntarily offered to jump inside of this thing and find out what's inside of it, because I would. I would love to go out on a boating excursion with Rhea Sky and jump inside of this thing, because it's cool. And I know I could probably die from it, but it would be kind of really cool. I think that Descendants and Zombies There's nothing wrong with being a fan of Descendants of Zombies. It's all about how much you believe in it. And if you can keep on holding on to that belief that something special is about to happen, and that you're going to be a part of something special that's about to happen, that's all that really matters at the end of every conversation. How much you believe in Descendants of Zombies. If I were to thank every single person who's ever hit my subscribe button or taken a chance on me, I'd be here for forever, so I'm not going to do that. Just simply say thank you to everybody. I love you so much, man, and I look forward to the foreseeable future being your voice of Descendants of Zombies because it's been fun. Tomorrow night I will have a new video uploaded for you guys about Descendants of Zombies, and I hope you will join me for it, because this is the unofficial Descendants of Zombies podcast on YouTube, the only unofficial Descendants of Zombies podcast on YouTube, and I have never felt more honored to be here every single night for you guys. Thank you guys so much for the last 600 videos, and here's to 600 more. I've had so much fun, because the only thing that we can do in this lifetime, while we may not never know what to expect or what's coming our way, all we got to do is stay calm and zombie on, because life really is that much sweeter with all of us in it. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to have been a part of your lives as your voice of Descendants of Zombies. I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke, and you, of course, have been watching the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs. Don't forget to hit my subscribe, my like button, and, of course, ring my bell to stay up to date with every notification. I got to say that, because that's what every YouTube creator does. It must be cool. I really don't know. But if you are a fan of Descendants of Zombies, keep on believing in the franchise as much as what you have over the last number of years and into the foreseeable future, because we don't know what's coming next, and I say that because I'm a fan, just like each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, YouTube. We will talk again tomorrow night. Until then, I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke, saying I love Descendants of Zombies, because that's the only way to be in this lifetime. Thank you guys so very much.